So in this video today, I'm going to show you exactly how to use a spreadsheet to calculate everything you need to calculate for task 3. Your spreadsheet that you start with is on test scores, and it's got about 1,000 data points for test scores in it. Mine happens to be on ice cream profits, so we're not working with the exact same data, but you are working with a similar spreadsheet. The first thing you're going to put in is you're going to put in your score that you spun on the spinner. So that's the very first thing, because we're going to need that number as we do our calculations. So you're going to put that in this first spot here next to where it says my test score. Mine says my profit. So I'm just going to put a profit value in there. I'm going to put 305. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to last time when we were doing calculating things, we highlighted when we were a lot of things when we were doing a calculation on it. And sometimes with this many data points, that's going to be a lot of room for error and a lot of scrolling that we'd have to do. So there's a shortcut. So notice I don't have a named column there. I'm going to go ahead and I am going to highlight that column at the top with A. I'm going to name that data. So I'm going to go over here to data, and I'm going to go down to named ranges, and I'm going to name that data my profit. You might label it scores, because you're working with test scores. So range was already in. Okay. Okay, so I already had it in there because I'd played with this before, so hopefully you got it in there. Now I'm going to go over here to mean. I'm going to do this like I did before. So mean is the average. So I'm going to go average. There it comes up, and I'm going to do parentheses. And instead of highlighting this time, I'm just going to type in the word profit. There's my mean profit. I'm going to do the same thing with standard deviation. So equals standard. Remember, we use the population standard deviation. And we do profit again. You'll notice that word came up here, that I can just use that. And then I do want to find the min and the max, because I'm going to need that on the next step. So min, and then again, I'm going to use the profit. And then I'm going to go equals, make sure you type that equal sign max, and I'm going to use my profit column again. So you're going to use your scores column. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is I need to distribute all of these values. So what that means is I need to basically tally up how many times do I have 250, how many times do I have 270, how many times do I have 280, and so on and so on and so on. And for 1,000 test scores, that would be kind of a pain. It would also be kind of a pain to try to find ones that are exactly matching. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this in ranges of scores. In ranges of scores or profits. So I'm going to go down here into this notion of going to this root. I'm going to go in here to F2. Okay, so I'm purposely going down one so I have a room for a heading later, but I can do that at a later time. So I'm going to start with my minimum value here. So I'm going to say 250. Okay. And then I'm going to go every 10 on mine, okay? On yours, I believe we want to go every 5. So you pick every 5, and that should give you the correct data, okay? So I think you probably start with 0 when you're going to 100. So go 0, and then you're going to do 5 in the next step. So I'm going to start with 250. I'm going to go equals. And then I'm going to click on this guy here, whatever I had, and then I'm just going to add 10 to it. You're adding 5 right there. And I'm going to get this and keep it going to hopefully I get about, I'm not quite where I want to be. I want to be above 454. So I need to get to about, that's too much. I could go a little bit less. I could just delete these last few. All right. So what I'm going to call these, and basically it's kind of like a range, or I could consider it like a box that I'm going to throw all the values that are between 250 and 260 into this box. In fact, I think I might have to go one less than that. I think I have to start at 240 actually. So I'm going to go one more this way. Okay. So You should be starting at 0 and going to 100. So D6, so I'm going to just call this a box. These are the boxes I'm going to throw and sort into. So I'm going to think of it like I'm sorting numbers into these boxes. All right, and then this I'm going to call the distribution. So this is the distribution of your scores or of your, or in my case, my profits. So, and then I'm going to do a really strange calculation here. So equals array, and it's going to be array formula is what you're going to pick. And then we're going to say frequency. And this is going to do all the counting for us, frequency. And then, missed a step. All right, I'm sorry. I'm going to go back. So next thing I want to do is I want to actually name this stuff here. Then I'm going to do all that stuff. So I'm going to highlight this, and it's not too long to scroll through and highlight. And I'm going to go data, and I'm going to name the range, and I'm going to call that box so that I don't have to highlight it again later. All right, now we're going to do our distribution. So I'm going to go equal, and I'm going to do that array formula. And then I'm going to do frequency. And then I need to do my profit. Profit, not price. Profit. I'm just going to type the word profit in there. And then I'm going to do my box. Now let's see if that works. There we go. So now this is the distribution of all of my profits, hopefully. I feel like there's something not right there, but we're going to go with it. Okay, it looks like I could have gone one more this direction to get one more set of profits. Okay, so let's take a look at, so we've got our distribution done now. So now what we have to do is we have to come up with a formula for the normal curve, okay? And the spreadsheet will calculate that normal curve information for us. So I'm going to insert